So question number 2 here, we have which expression is equivalent to 12x multiplied by the group 12x plus 14? All right, cool. So when we take care of a question like this, we just want to really understand, again, quickly, what the goal is. I see a parentheses, and I see a number in front of that parentheses. That tells me we're going to be distributing. So let's write this over here on the right side. We have 12x, and then 12x again, plus 14. So help me out, everybody. We're going to begin by distributing the 12x to 12x, which everyone, 12 times 12? Yeah, that's 144. We got to know that quickly. And then up next, we have x times x, which leaves us at x squared, exactly. So we're good in that first part. And you might be able to immediately tell that B and D are automatically non-answers. They're automatically out. So if you could just do that first part, you already have a 50-50 chance. Now let's see if it's going to be A or C by understanding what the final value is. Because it's a difference between 168 and 169. And to be honest with you, if I take a look at this, I can clearly see that this is supposed to be 12x times 14. Everybody help me out. If I take a look at those final digits, 2 and 4, when I multiply 2 times 4, what does that end in? Help me out, everybody. What does 2 times 4 end in? Oh, it ends in 8. Do I even need to take the time to do 12 times 14? Do I even need to do this? I don't, because I can clearly see that 2 times 4 is going to end with an 8, and so my correct answer here is going to be answer choice C. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to leave you behind. I'm not going to leave anybody hanging. I'm actually going to do the product here and multiply. But I want to show you these test-taking strategies because this saves you, in one question, it'll maybe save you an extra 5 to 10 seconds. But everybody, what's going to happen when you're consistently saving 5, 10, maybe even 15 seconds on a bunch of questions back to back? What does that mean for you? Yeah, it adds up. Exactly. It adds up. It adds up to almost having an extra problem worth of time at the end of the day. And you want that because any time that you can have to do the work, check your work, or review anything else is invaluable at the end of the day. So here we go. 12 times 14, 2 times 4 is 8. 1 times 4 is going to be 4. From there, plug that 0. Then we have 2 times 1, 1 times 1, add all this together, and we get 168 right there. So there we go. Correct answer here is answer choice C, and now we can continue moving on. So up next, we're going to be tackling which expression is equivalent to x squared plus 3x minus 40. So we have a trinomial here, and the one thing we're going to take advantage of is that hey, x squared is just x squared. There's no negative or a 2 or a 7. There's nothing in front of it. So we can follow our base trinomial factorization rule, which is going to be find the factors of C that add up to B. That's the rule that we're going to follow. However, everybody, there's something that we got to pay attention to, and that's going to be that the negative exists on the 40. So before we continue, everybody, yes or no, do we notice that that is a negative? Do we notice that? Sweet. We got that down. Now, number 2, everybody, here's the second question. We are trying to find the factors of C. Factors mean that we are trying to find two numbers that blank to negative 40. We're trying to find two numbers that blank to negative 40. Yeah, we're trying to find two numbers that multiply to negative 40. Now, notice how I'm taking it very slow on this first part here. Let's go ahead and find the factors right here of negative 40. So let's go ahead and write the 40 out. Everybody, we have 40, so we can try 1 times 40. We can do 2 times 20. We can do 4 times 10. We could do 5 times 8. And I believe that those are the only factors that we'll have. All right, now we have the factors of negative 40. Now we have to find the pair here that adds to 3. Right there. Question, everybody. 1 plus 40, that's 41. 2 plus 20, that's 22. 4 plus 10, that's 14. 5 plus 8, that's 12. So none of these pairs seem to work, but that's when you have to consider right here that the 40 was negative. Here's the logic that I'm going to use, everybody. How do we get a negative number with multiplication? You tell me, everybody. Can I do a positive times a positive? Does that give me a negative? Does a positive times a positive give me a negative? No, it doesn't. It gives me a positive. If I, let's say, did a negative times a negative, is that going to be negative? No, it's not. It's not at all. It's going to be positive. So what's the only way you can get a negative product, a negative multiplicative product? And that's when one is negative and one is positive. That's the only way, everybody. So if one of them is negative and one of them is positive, that's how we'll get a negative result. So that's all I care about. This is what I care about. So what we take a look at is, hey, if I took a negative sign and I started matching it up on one of the two numbers, can I get a difference of 3? Can I get a difference of 3? And if I put the negative on the 5, everybody, you tell me, 8 minus 5, is that positive 3? It is. If you're wondering what would happen if you did it the other way, if we did negative on the 8 and kept the 5 positive, that would be negative 3. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a positive 3. This was what will work. And so when we have that, we have, again, a positive 8 and a negative 5. And so what will happen here is we have x minus 5 times x plus 8. So the sign matters because you'll be bringing it with you right there. That's where it matters the most. So with that said, everybody, the correct answer here is going to be answer choice B, because we can go ahead and write this out as x times 8 times x minus 5, just like that. So either way works when you show, first to second, second to first, but the correct answer here is answer choice B. All right, next question up. We've got ourselves wondering which expression is equivalent to 4x times 3 multiplied, or 4x plus 3, multiplied by 3x plus 2. So to get straight into the work, what we're going to do is we're going to follow our distribution rule. Make sure that everything from this parentheses here multiplies with every term in this parentheses here. So we have 4x times 3x. 4 times 3 is 12. X times x, that'll be x squared. Then, up next, we have the 4x still needing to be multiplied with the 2. 4 times 2, that's 8. And then that'll be 8x. Next up, we have 3 times 3x. 3 times 3 is 9. And then we bring the x there. And then lastly, we have 3 times 2, and that'll be 6. So with that, it looks like here we just have to combine like terms, and we're done. We have 8x plus 9x, and that'll be 17x. And then we bring the 12x squared that we had before, the 6 that we have here, and that's it. The correct answer is going to be answer choice C, because we have 12x squared plus 17x plus 6.